Welcome to the exciting world of Moonwolf Covenant, where every shadow hides a secret and every howl under the full moon hides a story. Join me as I delve into the mysterious life of 𝐷 Martin and her journey through the intricate forests of the 𝐊𝐢𝐻𝐻 Wolf Pack. This is EP7 of Moonwolf Covenant. Thank you for your subscription and likes. I hope you can leave your comments. Chapter 51. What a heavenly way to die. This isn't the only history that will repeat itself, 𝐷. The moon goddess says, and then the scene in front of me is gone again and we're in a small room with a desk in the middle. This takes place a year after you died. She says, where are we? I ask, confused, because we were in an office. Soon the doors open and in walks in Andres, followed by Samuel, Ibanez, Dave and 𝐊𝐲. There was a wide open window behind the desk and it was daylight. Andres and the others are in their human form. During the day. That means that the curse is broken. The curse was broken the minute you two confessed your love for each other. The moon goddess smiles. Even though you died, you freed the night walkers. Tonight we're going to this pack. They won't be suspecting anything, so it would be quick. Andres speaks. As usual, we only spare the men, but only those who agree to join the pack. Oh no. I whisper, knowing where this is headed. The curse is broken. Andres has risen to the top. He has the strongest, most feared pack in history once again, the moon goddess says. On the downside, he is hurting because he's still not over your death, she adds. Is there a reason why you are showing me this? I ask, tired of seeing nothing but darkness. Is this how the future is going to look like? If I choose to die, Andres is going to be evil again, and if I choose to live, we will partly live a happy life until we have kids. It isn't over, the moon goddess says. After a while, Andres is going to get over your death and start living for you. I have already chosen a second mate for him when that happens. My heart shatters at that, the part about Andres having a second mate. I don't know how to feel about that. I tell her honestly. Don't worry, I picked the perfect girl for him, and in time his heart will start to forget you and love her. The moon goddess dismisses. She waves her hand and we're standing in a field of green. There's a gravestone that read my name. I spot Andres walking towards me. He was holding hands with a red-haired girl. I can't help but cry. I know it's lame, but he looks so happy with her. I wasn't crying because of that, I was crying for me. I know what I have to do. 𝐷, it took me a very long time to get over what happened to you. My grief turned to violence. I killed so many innocent werewolves because I thought it didn't matter who died. The one person who deserved to live didn't get to. Then one night I met Zoe and slowly she found a way to my heart as you did. She taught me how to live without you. Because of her I know that when you broke the curse you gave me a second chance. A second chance to live. I'm going to live for you. I know that you'd want that. Please just turn it off or something. I sniffle. I know what I am going to do. What would that be? If Andres is okay and he is happy, then I choose to die. I want to be with him more than anything, but if dying will stop all the bad stuff happening, then I am happy to die, I admit. If I do choose to live, I would be putting Rosaline in a position she doesn't deserve to be in. And Andres will get another mate in time and he will be happy again, so it's a win-win. Don't forget, Lycan will awake from his sleep if you choose to live, the moon goddess adds. Yeah, and that I can't. I can't. Just please make sure that he is happy, I beg her. That's the most important thing. Are you sure? The moon goddess asks. I nod. I am not scared to die. I tell her, even though I was scared. Andres does deserve happiness. The moon goddess nods in agreement. That's why I chose you as his mate. That is why you're going to go back to him. What? The moon goddess smiles. I was testing you. You passed again. What? You two need each other. You are stronger when you are together. And no matter what happens, you need to understand that I am here playing on your side. With my help, nothing is impossible. Yes, hard times are ahead of you, but there will also be happy times. You and Andres will build a pack, a family, a home together where your kids will belong, where wolves who don't have a home will belong. I couldn't believe it. She's going to let me live? Why did she make me go through all those emotions? I am just thankful. Why are you helping me? I ask her, curious. I lost my mate, and even after all these years there's a part of me that would do anything to get back to him. Why do you think werewolves get mates? I shrug. I always thought because wolves mate for life, and since we're basically wolves that applies to us too? I figured if I paired two people together there will be no heartbreak, that they have to love each other no matter what. It's the way it's meant to be. But love is very complicated. That's why every time a wolf rejects each other half, I grow weaker. I didn't know that, I admit. I don't blame you, I was doomed from the start. The moon goddess smiles sadly. That's why when Lycan wakes, I'm going to stop him. Wait, is that why you're letting me live? I ask so Lycan can wake up? Yes and no, there are still things you don't know. It will make sense later in the future. She smiles and presses a finger on my temple. Now it's time for you to go back. The bite has already started to heal you. I wanted to wake up and see 𝐿𝐴. When I go back to him, I will never leave his side again. When you wake up, you won't remember any of this, you won't remember me. You won't remember what I showed you until we meet again. We will meet again? I ask her, yes darling, but not for a while. The moon goddess smiles. Off you go now, take good care of my children **. I wake up suddenly, my eyes open up and everything is in high definition. I can hear my mother voice, 𝐿𝐴's voice and some of the other alphas. They all buzz in my head and then my eyes dart to the window. They take in every ray of sunlight. I wonder what happened to the glass. I was back in my room. I can't remember how I ended up here. The pounding of my heart picks up and my head starts to ache. A nudge to my hip makes me jerk up. I look to my left to see 𝐿𝐴's head on my stomach. Oh. I didn't even realize he was here. His face was turned towards me with his eyes closed. That gives me a little time to look at him. He is so handsome, I am seriously lucky to have him as my mate, as my alpha. I observe his sharp jaw and cheekbones. His dark brows were dashing, but currently furrowed in a frown. Even when he's sleeping he is frowning. This is the first time I am seeing him sleep. I move to run my fingers through his raven thick locks only to realize that he was holding my hands in his. I coo, which makes the alpha stir, then he opens his eyes. 𝐿𝐴, he exhales sitting up, you're awake. 𝐿𝐴. What happened? 𝐿𝐴 licks his lips. You got hurt. I wasn't sure if the bite would heal you, I was starting to lose hope, he sighs, squeezing my hand. How long was I out for? I ask, feeling a big heaviness in my stomach. I feel like something big happened apart from me dying, but I just can't remember it. I can't remember anything. 3 days, he answers. I don't know what I would have done if I lost you. The alpha admits, wrapping an arm around my shoulder and pulling up for a hug. Despite the icky feeling in my stomach, butterflies flutter at the feeling of 𝐿𝐴's body pressed against mine. We pull apart after a minute. 𝐿𝐴 stacks 2 pillows behind my back and helps me sit up. When I do, he leans in and rests his forehead against mine, smiling a little. I love you, he whispers. Chapter 52. On top of the world. He kisses my lips once, twice and pulls away. Unable to contain myself, I take a hold of his head and pull his lips to me. I connect our lips in a fiery kiss. 𝐿𝐴's hands work their way around my body. I didn't even realize I was wearing a robe until I feel him fumble with it. I slide down on the pillow, not pulling away from the kiss. Finally, when my back hits the mattress, I know it's about to go down, but 𝐿𝐴 pulls away, making me groan. Why? I open my eyes to find the alpha staring at me. His eyes was full of love and passion and I couldn't look away from it.
Je t'aime pour tout ce que tu es, tout ce que tu as été et tout ce que tu n'as pas encore été.
𝐿𝐴 says. I raise my brows at that. It's French, he chuckles. I don't understand French, 𝐿𝐴, I remind him. The alpha smirks and leans in, softly kissing up and down my neck. You're about to, he seductively replies. I let out a little whimper of anticipation. I wanted him now. 𝐿𝐴 kisses up my neck until he reaches my lips. Knock knock. 𝐿𝐴 growls, not now, Cameron. I want to see 𝐿𝐴. Cameron replies, knocking on the door this time. I am coming in 3 seconds, so please don't be naked. I'm going to kill him, 𝐿𝐴 says to himself as he rolls off me. I sit up and tie my rope. I run my fingers through my hair, knowing it may look like a bird's nest. Princess, Cameron beams happily, walking in. 𝐿𝐴, I'm glad you're wearing pants. The alpha growls, what do you want in GT? 𝐿𝐴 is awake and I wanted to be the first one to talk to her. Cameron smiles, sitting down on the bed. There's like a huge line downstairs. A lot of people want to see how you're doing. I look to my right where 𝐿𝐴 was standing with an annoyed look. I'm fine, Cam, I tell him. I can't believe you're finally a Lycan and the curse is broken. Cameron exhales happily. I look at 𝐿𝐴 to see him slightly smiling at Cameron. I reach for his hand and he grabs it, tangling our fingers together. And you and 𝐿𝐴 were about to do it. When a few weeks ago you both wanted each other dead. Get out now.
𝐿𝐴's deadpans.
Fine, the alpha grumbles, walking out of the room. Seconds later, 𝐊𝐤 and Samuel walk in. Look at you, 𝐊𝐤 notes. Being a Lycan looks good on you. Yeah. I smile. I look at Samuel to see him looking down at the ground nervously. I wonder what's wrong with him. How are you feeling? He asks, looking at Andres and then at 𝐊𝐲. I was confused as to what was going on. Are you alright? I asked the alpha. He found his mate. 𝐊𝐲 scoffs. He's scared of what you might think. What? Why would he be scared of what I might think? It's Josie, Andres answers. Samuel eyes widen. I thought you two were going to let me speak. He groans, then turns to me. I know that she is a close friend and you might not want her to with a rogue like me. What? I cut him off. Is that what you think? Samuel pauses while 𝐊𝐲 starts to chuckle. He turns around when his brother glares at him, but his shoulders shake as he continues to laugh. Have I insulted you? Samuel worries. Kind of actually, but he was already very nervous about the whole situation, so I am not going to make him feel bad. Samuel, you are a good alpha. When I was new to the pack, you made feel safe, and I can't think of a better alpha for Josie. Really? The alpha asks, his face brightening up. Yeah, where's Josie? I ask. The girl pops her head in. I was eavesdropping, she admits, walking in. She hugs Samuel and he kisses her cheeks. I find myself cooing at them while Andres and 𝐊𝐲 roll their eyes a bit dramatically. You guys are so cute together, I squeal. You won't be saying that when they keep making out in front of you, 𝐊𝐲 grumbles. He's just jealous, Josie teases, poking her tongue out at the alpha. How did you guys find each other? I ask. After Drewy stabbed you with the poison dagger, Andres, and your mom brought you here so Andres could turn you to an alpha. Wait. I cut her off and turn to Andres. I am an alpha? I gasp. Yes, that was the only way I could save you. I had to turn you to an alpha, Andres answers. I am an alpha? I can't even fondle my head around it. Don't worry, 𝐴𝐻. I will teach and train you after you recover. Being an alpha isn't that hard. Being a Lycan is harder, Andres' voice says through the mind link. I take a deep breath. I can't take this moment away from Josie by freaking out. I can freak out later. Sorry, continue, I tell her. Don't worry, it's shocking. I never pictured you as an alpha anyway, 𝐿𝐲, and I sensed that you were hurt, so we rushed to you, and that's when I saw him. It totally sucked at the time because my best friend was dying, but my mate was standing a couple of feet from me, shirtless, and with a sexy man bun. I'm gonna puke, 𝐊𝐲 groans. Anyways, Josie glares at 𝐊𝐲. I took him to meet my parents, they loved him. Are you sure? Your dad was glaring at me the whole time, Samuel chuckles nervously. Except my dad, Josie laughs, but he has his reasons. Hey you three. Your time's up. Dave yells, walking in. Josie nods and walks over to me to give me a hug. I'll see you later, I love you, she says and kisses my cheeks. She and Samuel walk out with an angry 𝐊𝐲 following behind them. Andres, remember when you said that I will regret rejecting 𝐿𝐲? Dave starts off. Are you here for your own reason or to check up on 𝐴𝐻? Andres asks. I'm here because I listened to you and decided to accept 𝐿𝐲 as my mate, but it backfired and he rejected me. Does he know who I am? I could get anyone. But I choose him and he rejects me, he splutters. You did reject him first, you made him feel bad. I say to Dave. I know 𝐿𝐲, you're going to have to show him that you're sorry. Are you even sorry? Andres asks. No. Well, when you are sorry, please come back, don't waste our time, Andres snaps. Okay? I see what is going on. You are on his side. Dave leave. After a few hours of getting visitors after visitors, I was pretty tired. Don't get me wrong, I was happy that the night walkers were checking up on me. It made feel loved, but there were so many of them. I know you're tired, but there one more night walker I want you meet, Andres tells me, taking the bowl of soup from my lap. We took a little break so I could eat, and now that I am full, I wanted to snuggle into Andres' arms and sleep for a while until my mom came to visit. Andres informed me that she was taking care of the pack. He also told me that my dad died and I couldn't help but cry. I didn't want to cry, but I didn't get to say goodbye. He said that 𝐿𝐲 betrayed him and ran, and my dad ended up dead because he was on the wrong side. That's all I know. I can't even imagine what my mom is feeling right now. Why don't I remember how I died? I remember everything else except for that part. I want to remember. Andres, I sigh. It feels like there's a big block that I'm missing. I think you might have blocked that part out, even I can't get into it, he kisses my head. I'm glad you don't remember because a lot of horrifying things happened. A tall dark man with dark dreadlocks walks through the door. He bows down. Luna, Alpha. A cop, this is 𝐴𝐻, my mate, Andres speaks and turns to me. 𝐴𝐻, this is a cop. He was one of the few night walkers that were stuck in their wolf form. I was happy to hear that breaking the curse worked on both ends. I felt relief because now these poor wolves were free. On the behalf of my brothers, thank you, Luna. Because of you, we are in human form after so many years, 𝐻𝐿 smiles. It's no worries, I tell him, and please call me 𝐷𝐻𝐿. 𝐻𝐿 looks at Andres, who nods. Okay, 𝐷𝐿. Thank you, 𝐻𝐿 smiles. I will let you rest and we can get to know each other another time. Okay. I smile. He closes the door on his way out and finally I can sleep. Andres must have read my thoughts because he slides into bed beside me and pulls me to chest. I love you, I tell him, nuzzling his neck. Being here in Andres' arms made feel like I am on top of the world. I don't know how long him and I will last until the next big thing happens, but then again I am going to be spending the rest of my long life with him. All my life I've wanted someone who would love me. I mean, what girl doesn't want that? With Heath as my promise when I hated it, I knew that I would never love him and he would never love me the way my true mate would. I love you for all that you are, for all that you have been and all you're yet to be, Andres whispers, kissing my forehead. Chapter 53. Alpha and Luna. When I wake up again, Andres isn't in the room. Instead, my mom is standing by my desk looking at the framed pictures. I notice my closet door open and a few of my clothes hanged. Of course, she hung them up. Mom? I breath out. My mom turns around quickly. Sweetheart. She smiles, putting the picture back. She walks over to my bed. How are you feeling? You look pretty good. Thanks. I smile and sit up so I can hug her. I wrap my arms around her, pull her close to me. It feels so good to hug her. I am sorry about Dad. I tell her. It's okay, honey, I'm fine, my mom replies, rubbing my back. I am fine. I didn't believe her. I know that she was putting on an act. That's how my mother is. She never puts herself first. She always puts other people's feelings before her. I know that losing your mate comes with a great deal of pain. You know it's okay to grieve, right? I ask. Take some time if you need to. My mom shakes her head at that. I can't do that. It's okay, 𝐷𝐿. Grief is overrated, especially when you are a Luna. I raise my brows. What can I do to help? Ask. I know my mom, she's going to do things her way and I can't change that. I just need to be there for her. This pack need to recover as soon as possible from the loss of their alpha. I need to appoint an alpha ASAP. Who are you thinking of? I ask her. Is the beta Matthew going to take over now? I hope not. Well, since you're an alpha, my mom says. That makes me laugh. I seriously can't help but laugh out loud just thinking about me being alpha of a whole pack. That would seriously be a disaster. 𝐷𝐿, I'm serious. Be serious. My mom frowns. I've talked to Andres. You've talked to Andres? Mom, you can't be serious. I can't be the alpha. I don't know the first thing about being an alpha. I snap, getting off the bed. Did he agree to this? I sniffle. Yes, I was getting upset because if Andres agreed to me being an alpha, that would mean that he doesn't want to be with me. I mean, why else would he agree to it? That would mean I will stay here and he will leave. He did, but 𝐷𝐿, let me finish, my mom sighs. I get off the bed. I am angry now because after everything, after the I love yous, how could he just decide to leave me? I rush out of the room and sniff out his scent. Once I find it, I follow it and it leads me to the guest house. Once I get there, I walk in, not caring that I was just wearing a robe and nothing else, not even shoes. The guest houses has 4 bedrooms. The first bedroom door was closed and I could practically feel Andres, that's how close he was. And his scent was coming off strong. I twist the doorknob and walk in. Wa 𝐷𝐿. Andres quickly wraps the towel around his waist. I thought you were someone else. What are you even doing here? Okay, I was not prepared for this. Andres just came out of the shower and he was dripping wet. I am fine, I can do this. I won't get distracted by his body. I suck in a breath and try not to stare at his wet torso, but my eyes keep darting to it. My mom wants me to be alpha of the pack and you said you're fine with it? I ask. Andres nods, confused. Did I do something wrong? I don't know why this happens, but I burst into tears. You don't want me anymore? I cry. In flash, Andres is in front me. He picks me and sits me on his lap on the bed. 𝐷𝐿, hey. He chuckles. Listen. Your emotions are heightened, and you need to learn how to control them. If not, you're going to find yourself crying about everything. I sniff. What do you mean? I ask him, confused. I am crying because you're going to leave. Andres caresses my thighs to comfort me, and it's working a little. Who said I am leaving? He asks calmly. If I become alpha, I will have to stay here and I can't come with you, I explain. 𝐷𝐿, I am not leaving. Your mother and I talked and we agreed that I will be the alpha with you by my side. And when you're ready I will appoint you alpha as well. 𝐿𝐷 wipes the tears from my cheeks. You and I will rule 𝐻𝐸ven together. You will be an alpha and me a Luna or well, the alpha's mates who also happens to be Lycan immortal alpha. I laugh laughing at the image of 𝐷. The word so doesn't suit him. I really should have listened to my mom and not jumped to this conclusion. What about the night walkers? I ask. They're staying too, that way Samuel can stay with Josie and Dave can do whatever he's doing with 𝐿𝐵. 𝐷 smiles. I smile as well, but I was nervous. I am just not ready to be alpha of a whole pack. It's okay, Amy, you're not alpha yet, not until you're ready. Okay. I sigh and hug him. Thank you. It's okay, 𝐷 whispers, rubbing my back. I rest my head on him before leaning to kiss him. When I capture his lips in mine I feel his mouth stretch wide in a smile. I run my finger through his wet hair, brushing them off his forehead. Baby, 𝐷 groans painfully. I have to give an announcement in an hour. Your mother invited the whole pack. I cannot be late. I pull back from the kiss. We can do a lot in an hour, I suggest, biting my lips. 𝐷's eyes darken at that. He grabs my waist and stands up. I wrap my arms around his neck to keep from falling. Then he drops me on the bed. With a wiggle off his brows he drops his towel and I can't help but laugh at his expression. Are you laughing at me, mon amour? I just can't believe how silly the alpha actually is. I can tell that he has let his guard down with me. He showed the real him, one that jokes, smiles. If he can do that, then I can do the same. I would have never guessed that when I first met him. And now that I know how he acts around me it makes me feel special. He will never in a million act this way with someone else or around other people. Me? Laugh at you? Play dumb. 𝐷 climbs on top of me and pins my hands above head. He leans down to capture his lips to mine. I close my eyes and sigh into the kiss, loving how he smelled fresh from his shower. He was still wet in places but he felt warm on top of me. We make love. This time it was slow. Our kisses were long and deep. We became entwined and our hearts fused into one while our bodies moved in familiar sync. I now felt more comfortable and let myself explore. You are amazing, 𝐷 whispers in my ear. I snuggle into his chest, blushing at his compliment. I mind-linked Corina to bring your clothes. While she does that, let's shower. Don't you have to go? I ask, sitting up and wrapping the blanket around me. I have 10 minutes remaining. 𝐷 tells me, getting off the bed and walking to the bathroom. My eyes stay on his bare ass. Oh damn. I hear the shower turn on and decide to get up. Hey 𝐷, can you say something in French? I ask, grabbing the robe from the ground and putting it on.
When you walk into the bathroom, 𝐿𝐴 viens-tu de coucher avec moi pour comprendre le français?
Did you just have sex with me, so you could understand French? He asks. Oh goddess. That worked. I understood that. I clap my hands excitedly. When I see the alpha's shocked face I clear my throat. I know it may look like that, but I am not going to admit to him that I wanted to have sex with because I was feeling horny. Can you blame me? I am not complaining at all. 𝐷 pulls me to his arms. He leans and pecks my lips. Take that off, let's shower. I do, and we take a quick shower. I've never showered with anyone and I always thought it was going to be hot and steamy, and it totally was. 𝐷 and I kept kissing to the point it was getting really hot. Thankfully the knocking on the door interrupts us. We quickly get out. 𝐷 picks up his towel from the floor and wraps it around his lower body. He gives me a brand new one. He opens the door for Corina, who walks in with a knowing smirk. I see you lovebirds can't keep your hands off each other, she says. 𝐷, I put your clothes in 𝐊𝐢's room, she smirks. I take the bag that Corina was holding from her. Why did she bring a whole bag? Is this all mine? I ask, confused. Why did she pack me a whole bag when she could have just brought a t-shirt and jeans? I want you next to me, 𝐷 answers for Corina. I am going to set some rules and I am going to change this whole pack dynamic. I'm sure the elders are not going to be happy about it. It might help if a familiar face is up there too. I nod. Whatever you need. 𝐷 pecks my lips. I love you, 𝐊𝐢𝐧𝐬, he says before leaving. I envy you too, Corina smiles. Don't worry, you too will find your mate, I assure her. I never thought I would even have a mate, and look at me. Corina nods. You're right, one day I will find her. Chapter 54, The End. I know we are not welcomed here. The Nightwalkers are a pack made out of rogues turned alphas, omegas turned alphas. That puts a lot of werewolves off because it's not natural. My pack and I have been through hell and back, but it only made us stronger. We share a connection that is again not natural. Now my brothers and I are starting a new journey. You see, we have been given a second chance. And we are going to use it to do good, to fix the mess we caused. As of today the Night Walkers are no longer. As of today we are one, everyone here is a 𝐻𝐻 wolf. As of today 𝐼𝐴𝐵 will be your alpha. My mate 𝐴𝐵. 𝐻𝐻 wraps his hands around my waist and pulls me to his side. She will be your Luna. There was about 20,000 people watching us. I was nervous to see how they were going to react, but I knew that 𝐻𝐻 is the right choice. He is a great alpha for this pack. If you let me I can improve and strengthen the 𝐻𝐻. There's a saying my brothers and I say, for the strength of the pack is the alpha, and the strength of the alpha is the pack. That can be our motto as we start to rebuild this pack. Everyone cheers at that. And I look at 𝐻𝐻 and the amount of proudness that flows through me is unexplainable. From this day on 𝐻𝐻 is open to all rogues. Any wolf that is kicked out or a wolf that doesn't have a home, this is their home. The cheers dies down at those words, rogues. I knew that they weren't going to like the idea of our pack being open to rogues. A year ago I thought of rouges as disgusting creatures that were violent. All I would hear about them was bad. But after stumbling into the Night Walkers pack, and meeting the alphas who were also rogues in their own way, something changed my mind. We are met with uncomfortable silence, and then all at once people start to boo and disagree. This is expected. What wasn't expected was for 𝐻𝐻 to remain calm and collected. By the looks of the other alphas, they were surprised to see the state of their alpha. As an alpha, I promise not to exclude anyone. You are all equal to me, and each one of you has the right to do what your heart desires, even if that is to leave. We will find another pack. Beta Matthew speaks up. God, is he so much like my father? Follow me, everyone, and we will join the Lux pack. Something we should have done from the beginning. Beta Matthew walks off and sadly a lot of people follow him. I have a question. A familiar voice says. I look into the crowd to make out Kimberly Sinclair. I haven't seen her in months. I did not miss her, that's for sure. I roll my eyes, already getting annoyed at her presence. You said we can do what our heart desires? What if I want to join the pack warriors? Kimberly asks. Her father angrily grabs her by the arms. She struggles to free herself. Leave me alone, Dad. She shouts, catching everyone's attention. You would have to train with one of the alphas, but after that, if you have what it takes, you can become a warrior. Anyone is free to become a warrior. My alphas will also hold fight classes. I highly recommend you sign up, 𝐻𝐻 speaks. Kimberly smirks. I'm staying. Fine, but don't come crawling back to me when this whatever this is burns to the ground. I think Alpha 𝐻𝐻 will make a great alpha, my mother speaks. It was my decision as Luna to appoint him. If you are not happy, I'm terribly sorry to say this, but you can leave. 1 year later. The first few months were hard, mainly because when 𝐻𝐻 said he is going to rebuild the pack, he meant it literally. Even though our numbers dropped massively, there were houses being built every day. Our pack went to having 20,000 members to 2,000. It felt empty. Most people I grew up with were gone. It didn't look like our pack anymore. I felt anxious, but 𝐻𝐻 had told me to trust him. I went back to school because I still want to get an education. Just because I was an immortal alpha Lycan didn't mean that my mom would let me off the hook. I tried. Nope. It was hard to explain to my mom what 𝐻𝐻 was and what I turned into. It took her weeks to see me as her daughter and not some Lycan, but when she did, we were closer than ever. I wish my dad was here. I don't remember our last moment. The 𝐻𝐻 wolves that stayed eventually warmed up to 𝐻𝐻 like I knew they would. They respected him the way he deserved to be. 5 months and word had gotten around that 𝐻𝐻 was now open to rogues. Because of that, we got so many rogues and other wolves who left their packs to join ours. Rogues and alphas were coming from all over the world. They weren't violent actually. Some of them were, but once they saw 𝐻𝐻 they would bow their head in submission. It was as if he was their leader already. I have met with a few rogue, and after speaking to them I realized that rogues weren't dangerous. They were in danger. They were violent because every pack wanted to kill them. It's now been 1 year and 𝐻𝐻 pack was unrecognizable. There were thousands of new members. The pack house was rebuilt to 𝐻𝐻 and I design. My mom still lived with us, and both T-Val and Dave because they were 𝐻𝐻's second in command. My dad and Samuel were watching football when I got home yesterday. Josie tells me as we walk side by side, we were walking back from school. Today was an early day because of the pack dinner. I can't picture her dad, an overprotective and very opinionated man, and Samuel getting along. But they did. My so-called mate has been very clingy lately, Ibanez shares. He showed up to my house last night. Why? Josie frowns. I thought you and Dave agreed to just remain friends. We did. But Dave doesn't understand the definition of friendship, 𝐿𝐴 scoffs. I look out to the yard only to see Dave and 𝐊𝐢𝐬𝐧 walking towards us. Speaking of Dave, I tell 𝐿𝐴, okay, I gotta go. The beta panics and runs off the other direction. Dave notices and runs after him. Josie, 𝐊𝐴𝐬𝐧 voice comes from. He was standing at the porch of their house. He always waited for her on the same spot every single day. I'll see you tonight. Josie waves, running to her mate. They hug and kiss each other before walking into their house. Luna, how was school? A cop asks, running towards me. He was training a couple of kids. He had the patient. Unlike 𝐊𝐴𝐬𝐧 and 𝐊𝐴𝐬𝐧, they were more suited to train with the adults because they pushed their students so far. I trained the teens. Yes, I said trained. I didn't think I could train kids, but I was faster, stronger than the average 17-year-old. School was good. How was your day? I asked the alpha. We have grown very close the past year. A cop trained me when Andres couldn't. Being a Lycan was hard, and it took a while for me to get used to my super speed, my hearing, my hunger, my emotions. I was also accidentally compelling people without meaning to. It was crazy, but now I got the hang of it, I think. We have new members, 5 to be exact, and one of them is my mate, the alpha admits excitedly. My eyes widen. That's amazing. Congratulations. I hug him. Thank you. He hugs me back. They're with Andres. He's assigning them a house and everything. I can't wait to meet her. I tell him I should get back. A cop nods. See you tonight. 𝐿𝐴𝐬𝐧. I walk to the pack house with a smile on my face. A few alphas nod their head at me as I pass them. Back at the pack house, I make myself a sandwich and make my way to the living room where Cameron and Iris were. They were always glued to the TV. I swear when I left in the morning they were seating at the exact spot. Princess, I missed you. Cameron whines, hugging me. I push him off me, making Iris snort. You haven't left yet and you're already getting clingy, she notes, slapping him over the head. I raise my brow. Where is he going? I ask. England tonight. My heart sinks. You're leaving? I frown. I am not ready for him to leave just yet, but Cameron is an alpha of his own pack, and he's been away from them for a very long time. At least I will have Iris. I sigh in relief. Yeah, about that. I'm also leaving. Tonight. You're kidding, I groan. Why? Mara invited me to stay with her for a while. Iris answers. She's my oldest sister. I couldn't say no. I understand. I tell her, we need to do something before you leave though. Let's go out. I suggest shopping. Iris squeals. I place my unfinished sandwich on the coffee table so I could fetch Andres' black card out of my pockets. I could use some retail therapy. I think out loud. Did someone say retail therapy? Dave walks in. His eyes widen when he sees the card on my hand. 𝐿𝐴𝐬𝐧 is still ignoring me. I'm hurt and I need to buy myself a very expensive gift. I'm hungry, so I am going. Chris also walks in. He starts to eat my sandwich, making me roll my eyes. Soon we pile in the car. I think we need to take a second car, Cameron notes when more alphas decide to come. We go to the pack mall. There's like at least 10 of us. The boys go their own separate way while Iris, Cameron and I go one way. We decide to meet up at the food court in 2 hours. We shop like there's no tomorrow. I buy Andres a few clothing, ones I know he would never buy, and I also spoil myself because I was feeling a little depressed at the fact that Iris and Cameron were leaving. 2 hours later we all meet at the food court. Both Cameron and Chris buy everyone food while we chat about random stuff. What did you buy? I asked Dave, who was glaring at the floor. I bought myself a. He looks at the brand of his bag's Gucci suit the salesman recommended. He said it is the latest trend. I looked great in the suit, by the way, but I couldn't even admire myself because I feel so angry, the alpha sighs sadly. I knew what was going on. 𝐿𝐴𝐬𝐧 has told his side of the story, which was that they both agreed to remain friends. But that wasn't working so well the past few days, and I don't understand why. Maybe you need to take a little break from 𝐿𝐴𝐬𝐧 for a while, I suggest. You're right, Dave says, sitting up. Probably. I do need a break. Cameron and Chris come back and give everyone what they ordered. Cameron, mind if I tag along with you, buddy? To England? Cameron asks. Yes, England. Cameron looks at me confused. I am leaving tonight, but I guess you can come. He agrees. With the help of Chris I managed to put everything away. We just got here after I dropped Cameron, Iris and Dave at the airport. It was sad, but they both promised that they'd come and visit. I close the cupboard door slowly when I sense Andres tiptoe into the room. I start to hum and pretend not to notice him. Boo! The alpha growls. I go in for punch, but he grabs my fist in his hand and twists my arm behind me back while at the same time turning me around. Nice try, little wolf, he whispers into my ears. I smile, resting the back on my head on his chest. How do you always know? I groan. You might be fast, but I will always be faster. He gloats, letting go of my fist and turning me around to face him. I love you, but one day I'm going to beat you at your own game, I challenge him. Andres raises one perfect brow at that. I love you, but I'm afraid you're all talk and no action, he teases. He kisses my lips. How did your exam go? I totally aced it, I tell him and peck his lips. How do you feel about Iris and Cameron leaving? Andres asks. You know about that? I ask. Why didn't you say goodbye? We don't say goodbyes in my family, Ama. Andres furrows his brows. Besides, I've learned to let people go, because if someone is supposed to stay in your journey, they'll stay in your life, and when that journey ends, they leave. Not everyone will stay until the end. Who says this is the end? I ask. This end is only our beginning. Andres cups my face and pulls me in. His kiss is soft and slow, comforting me in a way I couldn't explain. The world around us fades away, and it's just him and I. I love you for all that you are. For all that you have been and all you're yet to be, I tell him. Andres' thumb rubs my cheeks. He rests his head against mine, smiling wide.